Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kevin Erickson. I am a groomsman. I am not the best man. I know that standard wedding protocol at this point in the reception is to hear a speech from the best man. We have a little bit of a treat for you. There is no best man tonight. So instead, and I know some of you are thinking, oh, that's Stuart, he's ever the contrarian, always bucking tradition for the sake of bucking tradition.
Hear, hear.
You have to understand the dilemma that Stu was faced with. To help illustrate that, I actually have with me tonight the Webster's online definition of best, which I think is a word we use so often, but I think we take for granted. Excelling all others, most productive of the good. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the men who stand before you tonight and ask yourself this question that Stu had to ask himself not too long ago. How? How on earth do I pick the best from this talent pool? Right? Best looking? Well, I think we'd be splitting hairs here. Who's better looking, Brad Pitt or George Clooney? Right? Most intelligent, Einstein or Hawking? Most loyal, Lassie or Old Young? You really cannot choose. It was a Herculean task that our hero was faced with tonight. And finally, after many months of struggle, he threw up his arms and he said, I surrender. You guys are all going to do something. And so here we stand, not a best man among us, 5 exceptional men. So we've got 5 exceptional men, 5 exceptional speeches, each 5 to 7 minutes long, chock full of anecdotes that won't mean anything to 90% of you, and a couple of sentimental stories that might make the ladies dab their eyes. But we threw that right out the window. Someone here, a wiser man than me, said they might start getting impatient. So let's do something unconventional. So that's what we did. We took Stu's lead. We decided we'd take the letters from Stuart's name, and each of us would take a characteristic that began with that letter. Trouble is, some of you who are mathematicians know that Stuart has 6 letters. There's only 5 of us. But we are exceptional after all, and problem solvers. So we renamed Stu. Only for tonight and the rest of your life. So, without further ado, gentlemen, please present your letters. It's Mr. Rowe, if you can't read it. So I got the letter M, and we've all done poems because why not? And so here we go. M for machismo. Had a beard when he was just 7, nearly as dapper as yours truly, Kevin. A true man's man with testosterone to spare. Who else could look this good, even sans hair? A strapping Brit whose family hails from across the pond. England hasn't produced a man like this since it created James Bond. And so it is fitting, Kim, that he has found his leading lady in you. Sir Ian Fleming himself could not have designed a more perfect woman for my friend Stu.
Finding an R word for Stu isn't tough. R is for raucous, rebellious, and rough. There's rugged and regal, remarkable too. Of fine adjectives beginning with R, there's a veritable slew. Radical, ravishing, respected and rare. Ready, refined, and really great hair. Rousing, resplendent, remarkable, and more. Though I fear that by now I'm becoming a bore. So I'll wrap this up soon, because if I go on, there'll be no more R words for my dear old friend John. I'll leave you with this one, straight from the heart, the one that I should have used straight from the start. Stu is reliable, a sincere and true friend. He'll be loyal and faithful to the very end, through thick and through thin, for better or worse, until they cart him off in that hearse. Well, that about does it. That's all I got. So I'll finish up here with my little dot.
What an act I must follow. Perhaps Scott has one I may borrow. But there's one more for me tonight. It's a simple word, known as right. Now what an odd word it may seem, my angles could fill a ream, an adverb, adjective, or noun. The uses are abound. But this one came from Stu, for he'd be sure that you all knew that the best word for him tonight was to tell you that he's always right. I'll start with his degrees. There are a few. Bachelor's, master's, PhD, what a slew. He always knew that he'd have these in sight, just more ways to show that he is right. Now soccer was this man's game. Only one flaw, his shots aim. But as a sweeper, he would excel, mostly because he liked to yell. His teammates and foe all knew it was his talk that he often blew. He'd scream with all his might, never a doubt, he was always right. But there's one soccer story I've always waited to share, from a time when Stu had some hair. There was a cross that came to Stu, and off his right foot the ball flew. As this goalie, I stood in shock. This was one I could not block. He put the ball just past my reach, making perfect ammo for this speech. Now just one exception to this word, if I might, for it's his politics that are far from right. For a proud liberal that is he, trust his Facebook, not just me. Now I must show myself the door so I can get on to the dance floor. But Stu, to your satisfaction tonight, I'll admit this girl, Kim, you got her right.
Now Stu, obviously, will have a good life with his sweet and caring wife. She's beautiful, talented, and she's smart. Truly a deity's work of art. And well, what does Kim see in him? Well, she probably chose him on a whim. Now we all know Kim could do better. But now it's time for the next letter. And as we talk about Mr. Rowe, discussing his quality that starts with O, outstanding is that quality that I find is easy to see. Now, as far as I've been told, very few like him have broke the mold. Smarter, stronger, and even faster. Sets him apart and makes him master. When he walks by to and fro, we proudly bask in his glow. And when he talks, he's clearly skilled in martial arts that can get you killed. And now, with all kidding aside, I'm ecstatic for him and his bride. And to address further what Stu is like, shall take the reins, our man Mike.
A message to you single ladies who've been pining for Stu since the 80s. Retire your quest, just give it a rest. Yeah, it's tough. His moves are like Swayze's. Just kidding. We all know he can't dance. But he's always been smooth with romance. Just go and ask Kim, who's smiling at him, thinking she can't wait to get into his heart. Stu's lucky for his wonderful bride to share life with, to remain at his side. Through good times and bad, whether happy or sad, in marriage, love will be their guide. To me, Stuart has often clamored, both when we've been sober and hammered. I've learned so much of Kim, his one true love, with whom he's completely enamored. Please join us in raising our glasses. To Stuart and Kimberly, may they share a long life together, filled with many laughs and much love.
Amen. Cheers!